Well, wouldn't you know it? It's turning out to be an awfully nice night after all here in North Texas. Welcome inside Globe Life Park here in Arlington. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Mike Flowers. A little bit of a rain delay, but some good news. The tarp is off the field, and this lengthy road trip for the Mariners is about to begin. And Mike, how about a look at tonight's lineup by Lloyd?
Thank you, Aaron. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, Justin Ruggiano, the leadoff hitter, and playing center field. Fifth different leadoff batter this year for the Mariners. Then it is Smith, the DH, hitting second. Cano, Cruz, and Seager in the middle of the lineup. Ricky Weeks getting the start in left field and will bat sixth. Miller, Bloomquist, and Zunino rounding out the nine for the Mariners. Take a look at Gallardo. The Mariners just saw him on the homestand and what he's done this year. This will be his fifth start, a 3.92 ERA, a 2-2 record overall, 21 strikeouts to 5 walks. He throws a lot of strikes. Will try to keep the ball on the ground. Opponents hitting .299 against him. Tonight's defense brought to you by American Family Insurance. Martin in center field can go get it with the best of them. Great arm with Chu and right. Beltre and Andrews on the left side of the infield. Odor and Moreland on the right side, and Chirinos will do the catching. For Gallardo against the Mariners, a lot of ground ball outs. In fact, he had 3 double plays in his outing. So the Mariners will try to make an adjustment to him, try to get him up in the zone.
I know, Mike, he was somebody that really impressed you with how he was able to change speeds. You mentioned keeping the ball low, but this is a guy who's been around for a long time, but his first trip in the American League.
Well, he has been, and he's been a quality pitcher. And again, he'll work off the edges of the plate, but if he falls behind like he has right now, you'll see his fastball at times. It'll be 86 to 92 miles an hour. He'll take a little bit off of it to get a little more sink to it and keep it on the ground.
Falls ahead to Ruggiano early.
I think his best off-speed pitch will be his curveball. He likes to throw his slider, but it's been knocked around a little bit, and you won't see much from his changeup.
Ruggiano leading off for the first time this year. This is the 5th Mariners leadoff hitter this season. For Ruggiano, the first time batting leadoff since he was with the Marlins back in 2013. Did it just under 20 times that season, but that's been the only time in Ruggiano's career that he's been at the top of the lineup card. Full count after it started off 3-0. This is a little bit of an interesting lineup tonight for the Mariners. You can see Seth Smith, the left-handed hitter, on deck, but facing a righty in Gallardo. Lloyd is putting in a lot of his right-handed hitters, and some of that, Mike, because of a couple of lefties we'll see, and a chance to give the right-handed hitters some time on the field, which hasn't necessarily been the case early on this season.
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons for it. As you mentioned, you have Detweiler and Rodriguez starting the next 2 nights, and good at bat for Ruggiano as he gets the walk. But I think more importantly, a lot of these guys they're used to playing every day in spring training, and then you start the season, and they understand what their role is and have accepted it. If you want them to be productive, you try to run some at-bats together for them. And Lloyd, I think, looking at the 2 lefties going the next 2 nights, let's get the righties in there, and the other guys need a break. So need to get Jackson a day off for the Mariners, and Morrison has struggled against Gallardo, just 1 for 16. Good day to get him the day off. That's why Willie's over at first. So there's a reason for it, even though this is the lineup you would normally see against a left-handed pitcher.
So here is Smith. You mentioned Detweiler. The Mariners really got to Detweiler on the recent homestand. The Mariners went 4-5 on that homestand. The lone series win came against these Rangers, taking 2 out of 3. And then Wandy Rodriguez will be on Wednesday against Felix. Rodriguez recently called up from AAA Round Rock. Gallardo falling behind to both Ruggiano and now Seth Smith, 2-0.
Well, we're used to seeing him throw strikes. So far, 8 pitches, only 2 strikes from Gallardo. Has not been able to find it as of yet.
There you can see the first-year manager for the Rangers, Jeff Bannister, taking over for Ron Washington. You know, we were talking about this earlier, Mike, that it seems like every time the Mariners are here in Texas, something is happening. The Mariners were here last year when Ron Washington stepped down. They were here last year when Prince Fielder decided that he had to get neck surgery, was out for the year, and then of course here today with all the Josh Hamilton brouhaha that's going around the ballpark here.
That was a big deal here at the ballpark. Hamilton was here at the ballpark for a press conference earlier this afternoon. But that was a deal that was strange. It's one thing to see a player sign as a free agent in your own division, but to have somebody in your own division being traded back, I think, is a bit strange first and foremost. So we'll see what happens with Hamilton. It sounds as if he's going to have a few days, and then he's eventually going to start on some rehab for his shoulder more than anything. So he's a guy that has been injured this year. and they're trying to get him healthy again. But it'll be interesting to see what he has left in the tank when he comes back. Or obviously his best years were here for Texas.
Now there's no question an MVP. John Daniels, the general manager, saying mid to late May is his hope for Hamilton on the field. 3-1 pitch. And how about that? A couple of walks to lead things off from Gallardo. Gallardo entered tonight having walked only 5 over his first 4 starts.
And that'll bring Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Rangers, onto the field to talk to Gallardo. Right now 11 pitches, only 3 strikes. A bit surprising to see that.
Well, Gallardo, a pretty interesting story. 29 years old, was born in Mexico, but his family moved here to Texas early on in his life. In fact, he went to Trimble Tech in Fort Worth. So Gallardo grew up a very hardcore Rangers fan, but then was with the Milwaukee Brewers for the first 8 years of his big league career. Was the opening day starter this year for Texas. Yu Darvish on the disabled list. Derek Holland was healthy at the time, but they didn't want to start him until the 5th turn of the rotation. But Gallardo, even when he was traded, really said, listen, it's good to go back home, but I have some ties to Milwaukee. They've been very good to me. He was an all-star with the Brewers. That was back in 2010. So now facing Cano with 2 on and nobody out. Mike, not sure about you, but when filling out the scorebook today and you write down 288 for Cano, it seems like he's hitting much higher than 288.
Well, he had the stretch in Oakland where he was 0 for 13 and was lining out all over the place. And then he had the hitting streak that he had for 11 games, 12 games, and he had his average up over 300. But at this time of the year, 104, you can drop 15, 20 points, and now he's at 288 from 304.
It can happen easily, especially in April.
You'd like to see him take advantage of this situation. Gallardo in 20 2/3 innings only had 5 walks, 21 strikeouts, 5 walks. So a couple of walks to start this game off. He would really like to make that hurt.
Gallardo pitched 10 days ago at Safeco Field. He went 6 scoreless, did not allow an extra base hit.
And this is one of the areas, Aaron, that the club is going to have to get better at. The good news is they're hitting home runs to score runs, but hitting just 203 with runners in scoring position, they're going to have to do a better job in these situations.
Count goes to 1-2. Well, you're right, it was tough. And yesterday's ball game, 4-2 the final against the Twins in 11 innings. Of course, the number that stood out above all the other ones for the Mariners. 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And you mentioned the season-long average at this point. And speaking of numbers that can really fall through, well, the Mariners weren't hitting great with runners in scoring position before that, but you go 0 for 12 in one game and all of a sudden the numbers are even worse looking. Two balls and 2 strikes to Cano. We talked so much about Kyle Seager loving to hit here in Arlington, and Cano, it's pretty friendly confines for Robinson as well. He's hitting just over 315 lifetime here in Arlington. And any left-handed hitter has to like right field here at Globe Life Park.
Well, it's a great place to hit. First of all, you have a good background, so you see the ball just fine. But the infield typically is firm and fast, so the ground balls have a chance to get through to give you some base hits. It's a big outfield, and it's an extremely fast outfield. And you'll see the ball. There's a line drive over the shortstop head. It'll be all the outfielders can do to keep it from getting to the wall. It's a fast outfield, and then in the air, typically, as Aaron mentioned, will fly out to right. So a lot of things to like for a hitter.
Payoff pitch to Cano. And a chopper right there to Odor. Took a minute. And they'll just get the one. They get Smith at second base. So Cano survives, and the Mariners have runners on the corners, 1 out.
Well, this should have been a double play. You can see the double clutch. Just a bad transfer for Odor. Andrews doing the right thing, just getting out of the way. Didn't have a chance to double up Cano after the bobble. That'll give the American League RBI leader Nelson Cruz, who's stepping in, a chance to drive in a run and get the Mariners on the scoreboard here in the first.
Sounds like we heard a pretty nice ovation there for Nelson. Some cruising, which we've heard at Safeco Field already, but some fine years for Nelson.
And you can see he had a good series against the Rangers when they were at Safeco, 7 for 14 with a couple of home runs.
A lot of pitches early on for Gallardo, and his first to Nelson Cruz, a strike. Gallardo a 3-ball count to each of the first 3 men tonight, including a couple of full counts. That was to Ruggiano, who's now at third, and Cano, who's at first. Big rip to make it 0-2.
This is one of the better fastballs we've seen from Gallardo. The reason being he wants to elevate it, throw it above the hands, and is able to get it there at 90 miles an hour, right at the top of the strike zone. Good fastball from Gallardo.
Cruz behind, but instead a move to first. Of course, this is the ballpark when you think of Nelson Cruz and you know his nickname Boomstick, that you really know that it took on a whole entire different persona. They have the Boomstick Mobile, which is parked somewhere in the Players Tunnel here at the ballpark. They even had the Boomstick Hot Dog, which had about a week's worth of calories in it. Ball one. Nelson said that he never tried the Boomstick Hot Dog, which for his professional longevity is probably a wise move. He did say that he was given a ride on the Boomstick Mobile, for lack of a better term, which is it's a long hot dog on wheels.
Did he enjoy it?
He must have. How could you not? Big RBI chance here for Cruz. And the count tilts even.
You can see Gallardo trying to climb the ladder again, a little bit higher than the second strike he was able to get on Cruz. Cruz with good numbers against Gallardo. We just showed him to you. 5 for 5 with a couple of home runs. "21 pitches now for Gallardo here in the first. Only 8 strikes.
And only 1 out. Right side and through. Mariners take an early lead. Ruggiano scores standing. Cano into second base, and Nelson Cruz at his first at bat back in Arlington in a Mariners uniform drives in a run.
We'll take a look at trying to paint the outside corner. Two-seam fastball. It runs back to probably middle away, and you can see how quickly the ball gets through the infield. Ground ball through the right side. One of the disadvantages you have as an offense is looking at that play, the ground ball that was hit. A lot of times runners will try to go first or third in that situation, but if it's at the outfielder, it's going to be next to impossible to try to do that. Just gets to him too quickly.
So that brings in the most feared man in the Lone Star State. Here is Kyle Seager. Seager batting .353 lifetime here in Arlington. And there are white knuckles all around the ballpark whenever Seager steps in against the Rangers, especially with a couple of base runners. Oh, and 2 quickly on Seager.
He's done some damage hitting .353. He has 14 doubles, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs over the 34 games.
You can see his numbers overall against the Rangers. The next pitch will be number 25 for Gallardo. Right there to Moreland. On to second for 1. Back to first base. Wide. Here comes Cano down the line, and the Mariners extend the lead with a little bit of help. It's 2-0 Seattle.
We'll take a look at the fielder's choice to second. Andrews hesitates a little bit. He's waiting for Gallardo, but he throws it back behind him. So a good break for the Mariners. Cano, who was on second base, was paying attention. It takes off immediately when it gets past him. So the Mariners pick up another run. Good hard slide by Nelson Cruz going into second base.
So Ruggiano, the leadoff walk, he's come around to score. Cano, a fielder's choice, he has crossed home plate. 2-0 Mariners.
He'll score on the E6. This is the one that'll be interesting to me. Ricky Weeks getting the start. We talked about it with a couple of lefties going the next few days. Give Ricky a chance to see some pitching 3 days in a row and get some at bats and get some timing and feel a little bit better. But I think it's going to be important for Ricky the next 3 days to take advantage of this situation and opportunity for him.
Safe to say a new role for where he has been in his career.
Absolutely. He's been an everyday player, and he didn't like that call. He thought that pitch was down. But it's even though he's accepted it and he understands it and he knows what his role is on this team and he's been great about all of it, you still have to get used to it. And I think getting a chance to play 3 days in a row will really help him.
Seager, the lone base runner. The next pitch to Weeks misses low. So Gallardo routinely falling behind here in this first inning early on. Nearly 30 pitches.
He's a little bit closer in this at bat, though. All 3 pitches fastballs, 2 seamers, different velocities. The last one at 91, but all of them at the bottom of the strike zone. He wants to stay in that area.
And he has fallen behind once again, 3-1. So he's run it to a 3-ball count to Ruggiano, to Smith, to Cano, and now to Ricky Weeks with Miller on deck. Opponents have been able to make contact so far this year against Gallardo, batting nearly 326 hits over the first 20 2/3 innings. Slicing to right. Chu has to play it on a hop. Seager first to third. He slides in safe. And Weeks looked like off the bat that would be caught by Chu in right field. Couldn't get there. And this lengthy top of the first for Giovanni Gallardo continues in the Mariners' favor.
It'll be an elevated fastball at 91. They wanted to go away. It runs back to the inside corner. Ricky able to fight it off. Dump a little fly ball into right field to pick up a base hit. That's important for a lot of reasons. One, the confidence of Ricky gets some hits. Feel a little bit better about that. But more importantly, keep Gallardo out there, who's already at 30 pitches, and continue to work on his pitch count here in the first inning. Also give Brad Miller an opportunity to drive in a run.
6 innings for Gallardo the last time he saw the Mariners in Seattle. 5 innings for the right-hander his last start on a Wednesday in Arizona. Nice start for Miller, batting just over 290. 7 early RBIs in April. Chance for a couple of more here. Not close to make it 1-1. Nice homestand for Miller back home. Mariners went 4-5 overall. Seager at third, Weeks at first base. And we see the curveball that time from Gallardo.
Surprised we haven't seen the curveball earlier with the struggles he's having with his fastball. But 2 curveballs to Brad Miller now. First pitch curveball, and then that one he was able to throw just below the hitting area.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Miller. If he can get aboard with 2 outs, Bloomquist is on deck. Next pitch will be number 35. And that'll do it for the Mariners at the top of the first. Miller down on strikes, but the Mariners grab 2. Nelson Cruz makes it 1-0, then helped out by an error on a ball put in play by Seager. Mariners the early lead. inning. And Mike, how about a look at tonight's Rangers lineup?
For the Rangers, the lineup has struggled a little bit, but Martin, he is key. You want to keep him off the bases. Leads the club with 5 stolen bases. The DH tonight, Prince Fielder, off to a great start with a .361 batting average in 11 seasons, .285 overall, but 288 home runs. Only 1 home run so far this year. Mitch Moreland will hit 5th, hitting .310 in the lineup. Then it's Andrus, Chu, Odor, and Chirinos rounding out the 9 for the Rangers. For Walker, see what he's done so far this year. Looking for his first win. ERA is high. The biggest thing is he was much better in his last outing. They're looking to build on that, so hopefully he's aggressive with his fastball. Like to see it in that 95-mile-an-hour range here in the first inning. And pitch inside.
His first offering of the night at 93 for a strike. Well, you talk about being aggressive, Mike, and Mike Zunino was talking about this earlier today inside the clubhouse, saying that going into the last start against the Astros, they really emphasized being aggressive, pitching inside, pitching up and in, and it really paid dividends for Taijuan.
Well, it's what we saw at the end of last year, and we saw it throughout spring training, and for the first couple of starts, he had gotten away from that.
And play to Seager near the line. Makes it look pretty routine. 1 out.
Mariners defense brought to you by American Family Insurance. Ricky Weeks getting the start in left. Ruggiano in center field. Nelson Cruz out in right. Seager is at third base. Miller and Cano playing up the middle. Willie Bloomquist getting the start at first base this evening, and Mike Zunino will do the catching. See what he did Tuesday. 101 pitches to get through 5 1/3. All the numbers look good except for the walks. 4 walks. You want to stay away from that, especially in this ballpark. But 8 strikeouts for Taijuan. And Aaron, as you mentioned, I thought he was much more aggressive with his fastball. There's another good fastball on the inside corner at 94. Nothing wrong with making hitters at this level a little bit uncomfortable.
When I see Taijuan Walker and you see the overwhelming velocity and you see a curveball that time, but he's got the cutter, the slider, makes you think a little bit of a performance we saw last year against the Mariners. David Price spent a complete game in Seattle, and he has overwhelming velocity as Taijuan Walker touches 95 and gets his first punch out tonight. And it's nice to see a pitcher trust the velocity and not try to get too cute with it. David Price is maybe the best at that, and Taijuan Walker is certainly in that mold.
Well, I think that the biggest difference is David Price is a veteran pitcher. I had a couple of scouts talking to me today, and they were asking me about Taijuan Walker and James Paxton. And I said sometimes I think there's that fine line between wanting to pitch at the major league level because you think you have to, and knowing that your stuff is good enough and trusting it. And I said for these 2 young pitchers, I think they go through a little bit of that. And now Taijuan, I think, has convinced himself this is the way he has to go about his business. And I think the main thing with his fastball at 95, and at times he'll touch 97, but he'll be in that 95-mile-an-hour range. If he pitches inside, it'll make his changeup and his curveball much better. And I think that is when you start to see the pitching side of it. But you have to go out, especially when you are blessed with an arm like he is, and establish it early. And let them know you will pitch inside.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother you at all.
Good test here against Fielder, off to a nice start. And he quickly works ahead, 1-2.
So Taijuan, 8 pitches, 7 strikes, 9 pitches, 8 strikes.
Boy, disposed to Figueroa on 3 pitches.
Good curveball.
This is more curveballs than what we're used to seeing this early, is it not, from Taijuan Walker?
Typically, especially to left-handers, he likes his changeup a little bit more. But I think, again, you have a game plan, and maybe Mike Zunino and Taijuan decided, along with Rick Wace, that they wanted to show the curveball early, give them something to think about, and then elevate the fastball, which is what he did right there.
Weeks into the corner. Weeks out of room. Has to play it off the wall. Fielder in at second base. A 2-out double.
Well, Fielder has been a hot hitter for him, and I think this is a good pitch by Taijuan. He wants to get to the top of the strike zone. He gives him a good fastball, leaves it out over the plate. You see Zunino wanted it inside. Maybe that's the only thing. But it was a strike at the top of the zone at 95, and Prince Fielder has been hot and able to handle that pitch. Most hitters will not get to it.
That's some serious opposite way power from Fielder. A man that Lloyd McClendon knows well during their time together in Detroit. So here is Adrian Beltre, the former Mariner. A man looking like he is on his way to Cooperstown whenever he decides to hang him up. Earlier today, Brad Adam had a chance to talk with Adrian about the King, Felix Hernandez. As we all know, those two very tight. We'll have a chance to hear that on the pregame show coming up in a couple of days before Felix's start. It'll be Felix versus Wandy Rodriguez Wednesday night in the series finale. Surprising not to see Felix in a batter's helmet, batting gloves, and a bat right now.
It's early. He realizes they don't need a pinch hitter yet.
2 balls and a strike to Beltre. When the Mariners saw Beltre back in Seattle on the last homestand, he was 1 for 17. Was really in a skid, but now 7 hits his last 6 games with a home run. 2 outs, a man at second, and a foul ball to make it 2-2.
And another good fastball elevated in on his hands. Take a look at this fastball at 95 miles an hour. Again, that's a tough pitch to get to. And by doing that, you open the plate up. He can come back with a curveball if he would like. Maybe go back in there with another fastball, elevated a little bit more. We'll see.
Playable there, shadow left. Miller a long way to go for it, and he's got the range to make the catch. Beltre pops to short, and that'll do it for the Rangers in the first. They leave Fielder at second. We go to the second inning. Mariners on top 2-0. By Root Sports, as the Mariners take on the A's. The first 20,000 fans receive this very collectible bobblehead of the arrow shooting closer of the Mariners. Get your tickets at mariners.com, and you can see this gives you some scale as to how large the bobblehead is. That is the Beltre Buster behind it, which Mike would make a good appetizer for you, don't you think?
Oh man, I think that would be some problems there. But I love the bobblehead of Rodney.
The bobblehead is fine.
Yeah, shooting the arrow.
We'll take 20,000 of those over 20,000 Beltre Busters. If it's all even. So here we go, top of the second. Mariners trying to add on to this early 2-0 lead. Willie Bloomquist leading things off.
Willie playing first base. I'm sure over the next couple of days we'll probably see him get a chance to maybe play shortstop. Maybe even the outfield. You never know.
You look over the course of Willie's career, he's literally played everywhere except for behind home plate and up on the mound. Can do a little bit of everything. Slicing high to right, Chu. Watch this land for a souvenir. 1-2 to Bloomquist. Of course, most of Willie's at bats this year have come against lefties. But as we mentioned, Lloyd trying to get some at bats for his right-handed hitters in this one tonight. So Bloomquist certainly part of that equation. The 1-2 from Gallardo. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. First punch out for the Rangers starter, who now faces Mike Zunino.
This could be a good matchup for Mike to get him going in the right direction. And what I mean by that is Gallardo throws a lot of fastballs, and he's typically around the plate. I think Mike can be a little more aggressive with him.
One thing that we have heard Lloyd say along those lines, Mike, is that he would like to see Zunino be a little bit more aggressive, as we've seen so far in the first month of the season. More times than not, it looks like Zunino is in there with an 0-2 count. Lloyd has joked a little bit about it, saying that he knows what that's like. When he was playing, there were weeks when you feel like you're walking to the batter's box and you're already behind 0-2.
It's amazing, and I don't have an explanation for it, but in this game, it seems that way. The guys that are struggling, they're always 0-2, 1-2, and you can look across the board, league averages, they are not good in that count. And Mike here he is right away in an 0-2 count. So hopefully things will turn around for him soon.
Just off the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, so far this year, when Zunino has been behind in the count like he is right now, 1 for 22. It's not easy, especially at this level, especially for a young hitter. Down on strikes. But it's interesting when you hear about somebody talking about being more aggressive. It's not as easy as just going up there and swinging to the first pitch.
No, it's not. But I think that's a good example of it right there. You see Mike, and he's trying to get a look. It's his first time up, but he's trying to get a look. And the first pitch is elevated, middle away, and then Gallardo starts to go to work on him and throws a fastball in the inside corner. Fastball just missing the outside corner and gets it a little bit further away. So they start to expand on what you're looking at. It makes it more difficult.
First pitch swinging, Ruggiano. A lift to center field, but an easy play there for Martin. So a 9-pitch second inning, very different from what we saw from Gallardo in the first. We're through 1.5. Mariners have the lead. All right, thank you, Angie. First pitch jumping on it right there is Mitch Moreland. And an easy play for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down as we take a look ahead to tomorrow night. Jay Happ would have started spin for Happ. This is our look at CenturyLink. What's next? Happ has been.
He's really pitched well.
been part of the bedrock so far for the Mariners pitching.
Well, and he's not only, you look at his numbers, and you probably have another win on there, but more importantly, he's pitched deep into games when that's been difficult for the rotation early on. It's been him and Felix. So hopefully these guys can get on a roll. Lloyd mentioned it before we left the homestand. He would like to see these guys compete with each other, and if you can make that happen, then that will save your bullpen. Your bullpen will be better. A lot of things work well if that's the case.
Up and in. Some shades of the start against the Astros.
Now see, that's the right way to do it. That is exactly the right way to do it. And that's sending a message. You're not trying to hurt anybody or hit anybody, but you're letting them know, don't lean out over the plate on me. And he gets an easy fly ball into the outfield.
Who wants it? It's Ruggiano, and 2 quick outs.
And the other thing is you get some quick outs, but I like the fact that he's been aggressive. We'll take a look at this at bat from Beltre. There's a good fastball in the inside corner. Cutter that he misses off the plate. It goes back with his changeup, but then right here he gets a fastball. That's recognizing it. Goes a little bit higher, elevates it just a little bit more, and he gets a lazy pop-up on a jam shot. That is pitching right there, but using it, your best stuff, and hitting your spots. I thought that was really good stuff right there. It's Mike Zunino calling the game, but Taijuan Walker executing some pitches. If he can continue to do that, he'll be in good shape. And then the other part about it too, Aaron, is we talk about getting deep into games. In his last outing, 101 pitches, 5 1/3. If you show the other team that you're going to throw strikes early in the strike zone and get after it, they'll become more aggressive and you can get easy outs, just like Moreland, the first ground ball out of this inning.
A ball and a strike to Chu.
There you go, 22 pitches, 16 strikes so far for Taijuan.
It's been strike 1 to every batter so far tonight, except for this at bat to Chu. And he's quickly got the Rangers right fielder against the ropes at 1-2. Chu really scuffling right now. 0 for his last 16, 1 for his last 28. Chu last season was part of a great hope movement here in Arlington, with Fielder, with Chu both coming over, signing the big, in Fielder's case, the trade for Kinsler, but Chu a big free agent contract. And then, as we know, things did not exactly go according to plan last season.
Well, unfortunately, they were never able to get to their plan. They had so many injuries. Chu was hurt for a while. Of course, Fielder out for the majority of the year, and their pitching staff just fell apart. Injuries really hurt them.
Stays alive, full count. And we've already seen some of that this season for the Rangers, especially the pitching category. Darvish done for the year. Tommy John does not even throw a pitch this season. Derek Holland, of course, out virtually all of last season. You can see him with the knee injury last year, and now a shoulder injury this year has put him on the 60-day disabled list. He has pitched an inning here at home this year. Nice breaking ball there from Walker as he gets Chu. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 second inning. 11 pitches for Taijuan Walker. difference of the game.
And it's Nelson Cruz with a base hit in the first inning. He drives home the first run. That's Ruggiano, the leadoff hitter, had walked, and he scores. Then Kyle Seager, a ground ball. Take a look at it. Andrews, the shortstop, throws it away. Cano, who had been at second base, paying attention, is able to score on the play. Give the Mariners an early lead.
First pitch strike into Seth Smith, so the Mariners jumping on Gallardo early. He really labored in the first inning, threw about 35 pitches, and then threw less than 10 in the second. So much needed bounce back inning for the Rangers starter.
Well, the important part is he starts the game off with a couple of walks, and you'd like to take advantage of it, and the Mariners did that. You have to feel that a veteran is going to make some adjustments and settle down. It appears that he's been able to do that as he's quickly ahead of Seth Smith.
Any chance an hour-long delay factors into that at all? Did it for Taijuan Walker?
No, I don't think so. I think if it was going to be a factor, it would be more for Taijuan, the young pitcher that's anxious to get out there. Gallardo's been around long enough to where he's dealt with that before. I don't think it's a problem.
Gallardo, this is 9th season in the majors, his first with Texas. The 0-2 to Smith. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes. We were talking about how the injuries have really devastated the Rangers rotation, and Gallardo was really brought to Arlington to be the number 3 starter, and he has been, well, in some ways the de facto number 1, except for Nick Martinez has gotten off to such a fine start. Lowest ERA in the American League early on. High to center field, Martin able to get there in plenty of time for round number 1. Well, the Mariners square off against Dustin Pedroia, Pablo Sandoval, and the Boston Red Sox for an early season showdown with a 4-game series at beautiful Safeco Field. It begins Thursday, May 14th. We hope to see you there. Get your tickets early and save at mariners.com. Well, we talk about pitching woes. The Red Sox have really struggled pitching, the rotation especially. They were part of a slugfest the other day. 18 runs scored against them at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Well, now nobody on for Cano.
Well, they were able to pick up a win today, but it was a nail biter. They won 6-5, so their pitching still gave up some runs, even though they were able to win.
We talked about hope in Arlington last year. There's been a lot of hope in Boston this year with some big free agent additions. Hanley Ramirez, of course, the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. We'll get a first-hand look coming up mid-May.
Cano reaching on a fielder's choice his first time up. Ended up scoring the second run.
Fights it off foul. He's behind 0-2. We were talking about Mike Zunino and how trying to be more aggressive, trying to adjust in each at-bat, knowing how a pitcher is going to pitch him. He said today that is something that Robinson Cano maybe does better than anybody. He knows how he is going to get pitched almost every time when he steps inside the batter's box. High fly, right field. Chu into the corners, got some space. Round number 2.
Gets a slow curveball. I thought he was able to get enough of it. 78 miles an hour on the inside corner, but he catches it off the end of the bat.
You know, for years we've talked about the jet stream.
Yes.
Here in Arlington, and it's interesting. Starting last year, the jet stream has dissipated a little bit, at least in terms in comparison to what it was like when Nelson Cruz was here. But the wind, you'll see the flags so often, although right now they're blowing out. So often you see them blowing in, and then the wind will hit off an inside facade of the ballpark and then shoot out to right field. But they have made some renovations to the ballpark. They've added essentially a suite kind of behind home plate, and that has cut down on a lot of the jet stream going out to right field. So it's not quite the same that it was maybe a couple of years ago. Into the shifts as Odor was over on the third base side of second. Wide throw, but it's just there at the nick of time. So a couple of efficient innings, another 9-pitch frame for Gallardo, who's really settled down. We go to the bottom of the third. Mariners lead it by 2. yours by Alaska Airlines. Enjoy free entertainment on your personal device. Learn more at alaskaair.com. By Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Whitesnake Live, the Purple Tour, May 29th. For tickets, just go to emeraldqueen.com. And by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. So here we go. It's turned out to be a pretty pleasant night here in Arlington. Odor showing bunt, and it's strike one. So far, so good. It's easy to say for Taijuan Walker tonight, Mike.
I like the way that he's gone about his business. It's something that Rick Waits and Lloyd McClendon have talked about with Taijuan. This is more of what we had seen in spring training from him. So he really is trying to build off of his last start. He's been very aggressive with his fastball, starting to mix in his secondary pitches.
It's been a tough start offensively for Odor. He's batting 140. But that being said, for a guy hitting 140, his on-base percentage is near 300. He's drawn 6 walks, and he's been hit 6 times. So a dozen free passes, or maybe not all of them quite free.
And he's also making those hits count. He has, so far as you mentioned, 8 hits, but he also has 8 RBIs. That's pretty good.
That'll do it. You're right. That's a lot of RBIs for a guy hitting under $150. Odor 2 for 25 in the last road trip. Just gets a piece. Stays alive at 1-2.
Well, Zunino is really doing a good job calling the game. First pitch fastball comes back, misses with a changeup, another fastball. Now here's the curveball at 74 miles an hour. And you can see the effect it has. I think Mike wanted that pitch to bounce up there, and he ended up leaving it in the middle of the plate. But because of the change in speed, 74 miles an hour, he was able to get away with it. And then he comes right back with a good 94-mile-an-hour fastball that's elevated in the strike zone.
We saw that formula back in the first to Carlos Peguero, second batter of the ball game. It was 95 for a strike, 74-mile-an-hour curveball for a strike, and then got Peguero swinging on strike 3, mid-90s. Off of Taijuan's glove, Cano, tough plays, got no throw.
That'll be an infield hit. Odor with good speed. I think Cano makes the right choice not to throw it. He has a great arm, but I'm sure that he would not have been able to get him. You see, Taijuan will get a piece of it. If it goes over his head, a tremendous athlete. But Odor would have beaten that out.
You're right, Taijuan, a fine athlete. Skywalker, his nickname, which started back in high school with some elaborate dunks on the varsity team. Even a couple of years ago, when Walker was pitching for the Rainiers, was yet to make his big league debut as he faces Chirinos now. Jack Sorensic, when asked, hey, who's the best athlete on the Mariners? He said, oh, Taijuan Walker, the guy in AAA. He's the best athlete in the whole system, from single A all the way up to the big leagues. And we've said it before, Mike, but does Taijuan not look like he doesn't belong as part of the Legion of Boom? Were pitchers this big? Were the shoulders this broad, Mike, when you were playing?
No. The thing that's amazing is, and I didn't realize this, but when the Mariners were down playing the Dodgers, that he had actually played in that stadium and hit a ball in the gap because he was a shortstop at the time. So for a man that is his size and able to play shortstop is impressive.
You're right. He played there but never pitched there.
Right. For his high school team.
That was a pretty emotional night this year when he pitched there on Jackie Robinson Day. Had about 30 friends and family there. It was a tough start for Taijuan. A lot of emotions. The 1-1 in tight. Bottom 3 in the order for Texas, batting well beneath 200 apiece. Chu $104, Odor 140, Chirinos 171. This has not been a good offensive club so far, the Rangers. In fact, as a team, Texas batting .211. That is last, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball. Not hitting for a whole lot of power, not hitting many home runs. Only the White Sox and the Twins have hit fewer so far this year in the American League. Steve Buechele, the new bench coach for the Rangers. To his right, Jeff Bannister, the new skipper. Big rip and a miss there. As he gets him for strike 3, Taijuan Walker's now third punch out. Well, you can take a look here. The numbers are startling. Felix and J. Happ compared to the rest of the starters, Mike, and you can tell that pretty soon here the rest of the starting rotation will need to start picking things up a little bit.
Well, and I think we're starting to see evidence of that. Paxton was better in his last outing. Of course, you have Taijuan Walker. Elias, I thought, really pitched well coming up for Iwakuma, who went on the disabled list. So I think you're going to see the numbers that we just showed you on the right side.
Soft line drive to Seager, over to first base, and he gets doubled up. Odor off the bag. And that'll help save a pitch count a little bit. Through 3 innings, Mariners still lead at 2-0.
Most important thing, throwing strikes, and you can see the Rangers being more aggressive. But a line drive right at Kyle. Sees the runner off the bag and quickly snaps it across the diamond as Willie Bloomquist will make the catch to end the inning for Taijuan Walker.
How many times when talking about Kyle Seager do we say right place, right time? And a lot of that Seager knowing where to be, and a lot of that too Chris Woodward.
Yeah, there's a lot to that, and Kyle had talked about Chris Woodward, the infield coach, and giving him a lot of credit. Kyle, of course, getting the Gold Glove last year. He was just outstanding, and I think it's a good point, Aaron. One of the things that we can talk about is the Mariners here early on in the season struggling defensively. I had some people that were asking me about that, and I told them, I said, you know, there's certain things that have happened that you're not going to see over the course of the season. And just the other day, Kyle with a couple of errors, that certainly is not going to happen. They will clean that part of it up. And the reason why I have so much confidence, one, they obviously have a lot of talent as Kyle swings and misses that pitch. But more importantly, also the thing that you and I noticed last year with Lloyd McClendon is he works these guys every day.
Yeah.
And Kyle is an excellent third baseman. He obviously won the Gold Glove. That is something that you're not going to see a lot of. So I think they'll clean that part of their game up as they continue to play and move forward. And when they do, you'll see the consistency of the wins start to come and really help out their pitching staff.
Only one time last year did Seager commit 2 errors in one game. That was also in April. It was in Miami. So it's about one of those a year.
Yeah.
He's behind the count. Andrews for out number 1. Seager 0 for 2. It brings in Ricky Weeks.
Gallardo is settling in after the first inning. A rough first inning for him. Had to throw a lot of pitches. The Mariners able to score a couple of runs, taking advantage of a couple of walks from Gallardo. But you can see more of what we were seeing at Safeco Field, where he's moving the ball around, changing speeds on his fastball, sinking the ball, and starting to mix in his curveball to keep the guys off balance. Starting to see more and more ground ball out from him, 2 in a row now.
1 out, nobody on for Weeks. Gallardo 9 pitches in the second. Another 9 pitches in the third. He sat down the last 8 Mariners hitters that he's faced. So you're right, really settling in. Weeks' single his last time up. It was really almost a bit of an excuse me single. Were you surprised that dropped in front of you?
Not really, because in this ballpark, most of the time in right field. The right fielders will play deeper, and Ricky has power to all field. So he was playing deep. And then when you see a ball that's elevated in the zone and somebody that has power like Ricky, and they take that big swing, your first step is back, which is what Chu ended up doing. Had a late break on it, and after that, he wasn't going to make up the distance. But you'll see that more times with the guys that have some power, and they will fool some outfielders with the big swing, especially if they see the ball elevated because they expect it to get squared up.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Weeks. So Ricky and Gallardo, some former teammates during their days in Milwaukee. In fact, both of them spending the entirety of their careers with the Brewers until this year. One of the great things to talk about Ricky Weeks about during his time with Milwaukee is Bob Uecker, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Brewers, and Ricky telling us that Uecker has his own locker inside of the Brewers clubhouse. That's, Mike, you know you've arrived when you get your own locker as a broadcaster.
Have you made the call?
I've put in, there's a couple of memos floating around there, some requests. Something about not enough service time, or I don't know. We're trying to sort it out. What a dive there by Moreland. Throws from his knees. Looked like that might squirt through, but instead Weeks is down number 2.
Moreland was hurt when the Rangers were at Safeco Field. He only had 1 at bat, and you can see how valuable he is. He's not only swinging the bat well, hitting .310 coming into the game, but a fine defensive play to help his pitcher out.
It's not many times in this game that you hear a player say that another player is just flat out better. But we have heard that about a week ago when Prince Fielder, who has played some first base for the Rangers, told the media, he said, listen, this team, the Rangers, we are a better team if Mitch Moreland is at first base than if I'm there. And since those comments, whether it's because of those or not, we have seen it reflected in the Rangers lineup. More times than not, Moreland has been at first.
Well, I think there's a couple things that I take from that. One, you have a veteran guy that doesn't have anything to prove to anybody and wants to win games. And 2, the ability to recognize that and come out and say it publicly, I think, says a lot for Prince.
One skipper, Odor deep, and another 1, 2, 3 innings spun by Gallardo. Pitch count stays low. He's retired the side in order each of the last 3 innings. We bring in our own Dave Valley. Val, what are you making so far tonight of Taiwan?
Val, can you just kind of explain the importance of him pitching inside? I've made the comment on that he's done it a number of times in this game, and he's going about it the right way. He's not trying to hurt anybody or hit anybody. He's just trying to open up the outer half of the plate, and how important that is for Taijuan to continue to do that.
You know, Val, the last time we saw Peguero at the plate, he saw just 3 pitches. Walker went fastball, curveball, fastball, and the velocity there goes from 95 to 75. Take us inside the batter's box. How hard is that to adjust when you see 95, 75, and then you get finished off with mid-90s again?
Val, the last thing for me, I made the comment earlier that it looks like, and I gave the credit to Mike Zunino, and I'll see if you agree with me, but recognizing some of the swings that the Rangers are making and Mike adjusting it with the way that he's calling this game.
All right, Dave Valley, thank you so much. That's good stuff from Val. Oh, thank you. You know, Val, the more support, you know, you've got some cachet at Safeco Field, so I appreciate that. One out base hit into left field off of Beltre's bat. So really for the first time tonight, Walker's in a little bit of a sticky situation.
Well, what we're seeing is the Rangers now are adjusting, trying to be more aggressive on his fastball early in the count. I will not be surprised if we see a few more cutters and sliders, maybe even his curveball. Beltre hitting a good fastball at 93 miles an hour right there. Zunino immediately going out to the mound. I'm sure to probably have a quick conversation of that.
Second time through the order for Taijuan Walker. Now facing a left-handed hitter in Mitch Moreland. As Mike mentioned, Moreland has been banged up a little bit this year. Minor elbow injury, so not quite as many at-bats as he might normally have at this stage of the season. But he has produced well for the Rangers, batting over 300. 9 RBIs, 1 home run. So big spot here for Taijuan Walker. Tying run is at first base. Moreland the go-ahead. Possible double play ball, but it hits Beltre, the base paths. Beltre runs right into the out, literally.
I'm wondering if Beltre did that on purpose, the veteran trying to stay out of the double play. And I wonder if I was watching the runner to see how quickly Moreland was getting down the line, if he had a chance for a double play. And we'll take a look at Beltre. Let's see what he does right here. I think that if he wanted to get out of the way of that, he would have been able to. So I'm thinking the veteran right here. This is it's actually a pretty good move. End up with 1 out. The runner, Fritz Fielder, will have to go back to second. You can see him at second base now. And Moreland will be at first. Beltre's out by getting hit by the ball.
First pitch to Andrews missing. Well, when you're in the league for nearly 20 years, heady plays like that come a little bit easier, maybe. Walker an out away from getting this one onto the 5th. And here comes Mike Zunino again.
Sometimes for a young pitcher, Aaron, when they get into a little bit of trouble, they start to try to get too fine, pitch off the edges of the plate. And Taiwan missing with a couple of fastballs off the plate away. Mike probably trying to get him aggressive back in the strike zone.
Fielder at second, Moreland at first. 2-0. Miller back a half step, a long rifle throw to first, and it's under Bloomquist's glove. Fielder can take his time. It's into the seats. He'll get an easy pass home, and the Rangers are on the board for the first time tonight. 2-1 Mariners.
We'll take a look at it. Brad's in good shape right here. Goes a little bit of a sinker, and Willie trying to keep his foot on the bag and make the play at the same time. It skips off the grass. That's a more difficult play for the first baseman. If it's the dirt, you have a better chance to pick it, but off the grass, especially since it's been wet and raining here, that's a tougher play.
It's an error on Miller. 2 jackknifed on the first pitch for ball 1. So Walker now working with the tying run 90 feet from home. Andrews is on at second.
Take another look at that play on the ground ball to Brad. I think he had to take a step back because of the hop. He wanted to get a good bounce. You can see it take off with the top spin. I thought maybe he had a chance to go to second base. He decided to go across the diamond. I think going across the diamond probably was his best bet when he gave up ground for the grounder.
Squibber to Cano.
Great pitching.
This gets Walker out of the 4th. A run does score. It comes on an error by Miller. And through 4, the Mariners still holding now to a 1-run lead. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Rockwood Fired Kitchen, Pizza, Burgers, Spirits, by the Grand Puyallup RV Show, April 30th through May 3rd, and by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Glad to have you with us on what's turned out to be a dry evening here in Arlington. Aaron Goldsmith, Mike Flowers. First pitch to Bloomquist. Results in strike 1. Bloomquist batting 8th at first base tonight for the Mariners. Struck out looking his last time up. Quickly 0-2 on Willie. Going back to that bottom of the 4th, we were talking about that Ball that hit off the lower half of Beltre. Beltre was, of course, out as the ball hit him on the base paths. But Mitch Moreland gets credited with an infield base hit.
Yeah.
Not a fielder's choice. So what you have to think about there is how great is it one day, and hopefully it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen 50 years from now, 100 years from now, but maybe one day somebody will pick up their 3,000th career hits with the ball that hit a teammate on the base paths.
Well, and what a teammate he is. He not only stays out of the double play or possible double play, but Moreland, who certainly would have been out on the plate, picks up a hit.
How about that? We just saw Paul Molitor of the Twins. He's a part of the 3,000 hit club. He got his on a triple, the first to ever get his on a 3-base hit. Bouncer there to Andrews, and it's out number 1. Well, from coworkers to clients to family and friends, the suites at Safeco Field serve as the perfect space to entertain guests, whether hosting 14 or even 400. Each suite option offers you game tickets, catering, and VIP parking. For more information for your next suite night, visit mariners.com/premium. Always a fun time at the ballpark. Here is Mike Zunino, 1 out, nobody on. Mariners got on the board early in this one tonight. 2 runs in what was a very lengthy first inning, and it's a good thing, Mike, because Gallardo has since sat down the last 11 and a lot of ground ball outs.
Well, if you look at it, he has 5 ground ball outs in a row right now, and that's what we were seeing at Safeco Field. That's the style of pitcher that he is. So the Mariners taking advantage of that first inning, but again, I've seen too many games in this ballpark, Aaron. You have to add on. So they're going to have to get some base runners and try to put some more pressure on him, because right now his pitch count is getting back into good shape. 70 pitches for Gallardo in the game.
You look at the ratio, he's at 71 pitches now. 35 of those were in the first inning.
Right.
Zunino struck out on a slider his last time up. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Played in less than 100 games in the minor leagues before getting his call up. The 2-2.
And I think some of the early struggles, hitting for average is really where it's at. He's shown power with the 22 home runs last year. But you and I were talking before the game, Aaron, and when you don't have those at bats and you haven't had the opportunity to struggle, because Mike has never struggled in his life till he got here, that makes it more difficult. There's a lot of things going on. And obviously him being a catcher, his first responsibility is the pitcher, but you deal with so much more at this level when you're struggling and trying to figure things out, and it makes it more difficult. So I think he's going to be a good hitter, but it may take him a little bit of time. And he's too valuable to him behind the plate in what he does.
Makes you think of Tony La Russa a little bit, now in the Hall of Fame, when he was talking about Yadier Molina during Molina's early years with the Cardinals. Comes the payoff pitch. There was a time, some baseball fans might remember it, where Molina was not the 300 hitter that he developed into, and he was a guy that was really scuffling offensively, and it wasn't just for a month, but it was for a couple of seasons. And Tony La Russa said very firmly, listen, I don't care if Yadi hits 100. He's my catcher, because what he does with our pitching staff, controlling the running game, he's worth more to me than anybody else who would hit in that position.
I think most managers would agree with that.
On a line left field, Peguero doesn't have to move much.
Good at bat for Mike.
Oh, this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. You're right, Mike. An 8-pitch at bat there.
Fouled some pitches off and then ended up hitting the ball hard to left field. Unfortunately, it was right at Peguero.
And I think that's kind of part of what you're talking about in the process. More times than not, if you see Zunino with a 3-ball count, as a Mariners fan, you got to feel pretty good about that in terms of where that at bat could lead for Zunino. We've seen him. You mentioned the 22 home runs last year. We know that he's got light tower power. So it's a matter of, can he get there as opposed to being saddled 0-2 and 1-2.
Right, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, and being more aggressive on the fastball early in the count. And I know you've talked to Mike, and I've spoken to him. He's aware of that. Yeah. This is a smart guy, a sharp guy. But you get in the batter's box, and it's just a matter of committing to that and getting to that point. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. A foul ball taking a piece out of Chirinos, the catcher for the Rangers. Howard Johnson, the hitting coach, standing right there in front of Mike. But a good at bat for Mike, and I am sure that Howard let him know that.
Howard, a World Series champion with the Mets, a former big league All-Star.
Yeah. A real good player.
Absolutely. Had some fantastic seasons.
Switch hitter.
He was there for the hole in Buckner's glove. The most infamous E3 in the history of our game. He was there, part of that Mets team, the Miracle Mets. They're making a documentary about that team. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ruggiano, batting leadoff for the first time this year. Lloyd loves Ruggiano's versatility. Can play any outfield spot tonight. He is in center. Mariners trying to add on to this 1-run lead a little bit.
Pretty good pitch. Slider right off the outside corner. Maybe even a little bit of a cut fastball. Didn't miss by much. Ruggiano able to take it for a ball. Work the count back to full.
Payoff pitch. Low ball 4, walks him for the second time. So Ruggiano has reached base twice without a hit. That keeps this 5th inning going with 2 outs. And here comes Seth Smith. Mike Maddox looking on. Longtime staple here in Arlington. Smith 0 for 1, a walk and a fly ball out to center his last time. Starts him off with strike 1. Smith tonight DHing. Cruz in right field. Smith was hampered with a bit of a hamstring injury early in the season. Nothing serious. There goes the runner at first. That's Ruggiano. Throw to second, and he's safe.
I wonder if they'll take a look at it. It looked as if the hard slide, I think he beat the throw, but I'm not sure that he was able to keep his foot on the bag. Andrus is excellent, and he's out of the dugout taking a look right now. Bannister is the manager for the Rangers, but let's take a look at it. Pretty good jump by Ruggiano. Chirinos with a strong throw, a little bit of a short hop. His foot gets in there into that back though. Maybe it did stay on. Wasn't sure. You'll see him hit the bag and almost bounce himself to the outside, but able to keep the right leg, the right foot on the base. That is not an easy thing to do when your momentum hits that bag. A lot of times you'll pop up, but he was able to keep his feet on the ground right here.
Boy, good move there. Ruggiano's first steal in his first try. Of course, for Ruggiano, this is a bit of a homecoming, at least to the Lone Star State, born in Austin. So he's at second. A ball and a strike to Smith. A twister, and it's foul.
The Mariners so far in this one, 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position.
Already an improvement on yesterday afternoon, 0 for 12. Well, that walk to Ruggiano snapped a string of 3 straight 1-2-3 innings spun by Gallardo. So a walk and a stolen base, and that looks now more like a double. Smith trying to bring him home here with 2 outs. Up the middle, a base hit. Here comes Ruggiano into third, gets waved home. Martin has to hold on to it, and the Mariners lengthen the lead a little bit by a run here in the 5th. It's 3-1 Seattle here in the 5th inning.
Nice to see with 2 outs. The Mariners one stealing a base as Ruggiano works the walk, steals second, and then Seth Smith coming through. Fastball trying to run away from him. It's it back up the middle. Good speed from Ruggiano. No chance for Martin, the center fielder, to throw him out. So the Mariners with a real good 2-out RBI right there. And now you get into the middle of the lineup.
Boy, you're right. That kind of checks a couple of things off the list. Hitting with runners in scoring position, hitting with 2 outs. And steps Cano. Robinson 0 for 2 tonight, a fielder's choice. A fly ball out to right, but he scored a run. Remember, the Mariners saw Gallardo just 10 days ago. The right-hander fared much better that day. 6 innings scoreless. Cano taking all the way for a strike, 1-1. Pretty tough pitch there. It's a cool night here in Arlington. We had just about an hour's rain delay. Gallardo 35 pitches in the first. This will be number 25 here in the 5th. And it lands for a strike. So he is approaching the 90 pitch mark. We saw Cano the other day at Safeco Field, Mike, working with the screen drill, the net drill,
right,
which he was working with Logan Morrison about. What has that done to help him with his swing? Because that's something that he's, of course, known for.
Well, I think the biggest thing for it is it keeps him from casting out and getting around the ball. And the part of that you'll see all the time is he can constantly, he's one of the best I've ever seen at leading with the knob of the bat when he goes to swing at it. And that keeps him from getting jammed as much, and he pretty much gets him into the middle of the field.
A rare strike 3 looking for Cano. The Mariners transmit, but they grab a run. And the Mariners now lead it by 2 through 4.5. Tonight, what a start it has been for Taijuan Walker, his first ever start here in Arlington, and he has pitched very efficiently, very economically. A walk, 3 strikeouts, just as we saw in his last start against the Astros, but he tied a career high with 8 strikeouts. He has pitched in tight. He has used the fastball as he faces Odor and lands the first pitch for strike 1.
It's good to see the Mariners offense come back and get the run back. Taijuan giving up an unearned run to get the Rangers on the scoreboard, and the Mariners coming right back to get that run back for them.
Mike, it seemed like in the last start against the Astros, it was Fastball, changeup. That was the recipe. Have we seen as many changeups tonight?
We're starting to see more. He's starting to mix it in more. I think we've seen a few more curveballs, which I like. I think it's a good pitch for him, but there's a good changeup from him right there. And I think tonight the thing that we're seeing with his changeup too is he has some good movement to it. He's sinking, he's keeping it down in the zone. First couple starts, he was trying to throw his changeup, but he'd leave it up. And that's more of a BP fastball, and it was getting hit a little bit. He's had better command of it tonight.
One of the conversation points about Taijuan during his brilliant spring training was the addition of a slider. We know that he has the cutter, but of course wanting to add a slider, as pitching coach Rick Waite said, maybe making more of a swing and miss pitch with some more tilt, maybe just a tad slower than the cutter. So that was some of the talk about Taijuan. Have we seen much of the slider so far in his starts this year, Mike?
Well, he tried to throw one right there and throw it on the outside corner. I think that they're going to continue to fine tune it. But his slider, for me, from what I can see from where we're at and watching it on TV, it still looks more of a cutter.
Okay.
There's not enough depth to it. It's really short, and he still throws it hard. It'll be around that 88 to 90 mile an hour range.
The cutter has really, in recent years, become an in vogue pitch, hasn't it?
Well, it's interesting. I've had some conversation. I was talking to, I believe it was Jay when we were at home, and he was at the ballpark. But I remember a couple of left-handers, Al Leiter in particular, Jim Abbott also, lefties that came up with it first.
With some lift to left. Weeks, a walk of the park, and he's there for round number 2.
And a lot of the Mariner fans will probably remember a young man that pitched for the Mariners that also used it was Dave Fleming. And I think Fleming went out and won 16, 17 games one year using that cutter. But now it seems that there's more righties are using it. Everybody has it as one of their pitches.
Yeah, it seems like it. And whenever you hear a pitching coach talk about it, it's a little cutter. It's a little cutter.
That's a little cutter.
It's a little cutter. It is the word forever associated with the cutter. 2 outs and strike one to Martin, who hit his first home run of the season in yesterday's game against the Angels. That was in the 11th inning. Helped propel the Rangers to a win. Just out of Taijuan's glove. He was easy to pick it up and throw out of first base. So Walker has retired the side in order now in 3 of the first 5 innings. We go to the 6th. Mariners lead 3-1. All right, Angie, thank you so much as we start things off at the top of the 6th with Nelson Cruz swinging to the first pitch for strike 1. Cruz, so many good years here in Texas, and of course some big home run seasons as well. An all-star back in 2009 with the Rangers. Part of those 2 World Series teams. How close did Texas get? Especially in 2011. Crushing. Swinging for the fences to make it 0-2. We were talking earlier about Josh Hamilton. And when you think back to those World Series teams with the Rangers, Hamilton and MVP, one thing that you really can't make a big enough deal about, fair to say, is Ron Washington and Washington's impact on Josh Hamilton, who is now no longer an Angel, but of course now with the Rangers. There were stories of Ron Washington reading Bible passages to Josh Hamilton in his office during the day, hours before the game. That was a very fatherly relationship that those two had, and it seemed like that was some of the success, one of the ingredients.
Yeah, definitely part of it. I think that, you know, for Josh, I hope that he's healthy and he gets back here and is able to play the game the way he's capable of. But you have to have that support system first and foremost. When you're having those kinds of issues in your life, you have to have people that you can lean on, and Wash was a big part of that, along with other people from this organization.
For sure. Those were the Michael Young days. Talk about a veteran. Got to have at the clubhouse. Seager on deck, full count to Cruz.
This will probably be the last inning for Bernardo. He has not gone over 100 pitches this year. He's at 95 right now.
High fly slicer, right field. Chu watches this land for a souvenir. One thing that we did not maybe know about Nelson Cruz when he came over to the Mariners was how beloved Nelson is in the clubhouse. And probably to a man, his Rangers teammates will tell you this is one of the best guys that they've had a chance to share a flight, a bus ride, or a clubhouse with.
Not surprising. He fit right into this clubhouse with the Mariners right away.
Down on strikes. Well, we hope you stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. 1 up, 1 down. Cruz picked up a hit back in the first inning. That made it 1-0 Mariners. He brought home Justin Ruggiano, who led this game off with a walk. But he's down on strikes. 4th punch out for Gallardo.
And we're starting to get some action out in the pen for the Rangers. Gallardo now at 97 pitches.
So the clock beginning to tick a little louder here in the 6th inning. His first pitch to Seager. Torino's off with the mask, but there is Beltre. He makes it look too easy. Well, time now for our Geico this date in big league history. And when you think about strikeouts, you think about Nolan Ryan, the most ever. You see there, over 5,700, but on this date, picking up strikeout number 3,509. Big league record. We were just talking about Walter Johnson the other day, Mike.
We were. But look at where he finished with 5,700.
Let's pad the record a little bit, guys. What do you say?
I think Nolan was 48 or 49 years old when he was finally finished, and he was still at that point in his career still a power pitcher. That is amazing.
It's incredible. 0-1 to Weeks. Randy Johnson going into the Hall of Fame now, and you know, you think about Randy and all you think about are strikeouts, and yet Nolan Ryan had what seems like an endless amount more of strikeouts than Randy Johnson did.
Well, and the thing that is pretty neat about that whole situation is Randy, when he first came up, obviously could throw in the upper 90s and was having trouble with his command. He went to see Nolan Ryan, and Nolan helped him out.
How about that? That'll do it for the Mariners in their half of the 6th. We go to the home half. Mariners lead it by 2. By Steel. To find your local Steel dealer, visit steeldealer.com. And by Honda. Get a dream deal on your favorite Honda now at your Honda dealer. Glad to have you with us here tonight from Globe Life Park. Game one of this 3-game series. A little bit windy, but we are playing baseball after about an hour delay. Turned out to be a pretty nice night here in North Texas as Carlos Peguero leads things off with a strike. Peguero sometime last year with the Royals, now with Texas, of course, a former Mariner. One thing we know about Peguero, if he can get into one, it'll go a long way. Driven on a line right field, but this looks foul. There was a game at Safeco Field a couple of years ago where he actually hit the batter's eye.
This is on a changeup. Maybe the cutter, 90 miles an hour, didn't do a whole lot, just stayed on the inside corner about mid-thigh.
Loud strike number 2. The other way this time. Taijuan pitching tonight on 5 days rest. His last time out, he tied a career high with 8 strikeouts. He struck out 5 Astros hitters in a row at one point in that game. And he gets Peguero hacking at some high heat there at 94.
Ends up climbing the ladder on a number of pitches, changeups down, and then the good fastball at 94 above the hands gets him to chase it.
Four strikeouts to 1 walk tonight for Walker. One thing that
I was going to say, what a difference for Taijuan, Aaron. Last week, his last outing, ends up going 5 1/3, had to throw 101 pitches. Right now, 5 1/3, 68 pitches.
That's a big difference.
The amount of strikes and getting quick outs.
That's huge. It's so easy to forget when the lights are this bright in the big leagues. Taijuan Walker is 22 years old. This is his 12th career major league start.
No, that's a great point.
12. He's had 11 starts in the big leagues before this.
Well, and it's especially when you're around him and you look at him, he's a man. This is a grown man out there. But you have to remember how young he is.
This chase is Weeks back to the wall, and he's got just enough room to make the catch.
A lot of that work that Ricky put in spring training with Andy Van Slyke is paying off. This is a good route. He turns and runs to a spot on a drive out to left field. Knows where the wall is. He can feel the warning track. Makes the catch. Good play.
Fielder doubled off the wall back at the first. This time it finds the glove of Ricky Weeks.
Let's not forget, Ricky has spent his entire career at second base.
Yeah. Lloyd had a great line.
There's Andy.
You can see Andy Van Slyke runs those guys through the ringer in the outfield, and they're better for it. Of course, Lloyd put Ricky in left field a number of times in Cactus League play, and there was never a ball hit to him.
He looked good standing.
He looked great standing there. Lloyd tried his hardest. Hard hit grounder, but it's gobbled up there by Brad Miller. And the side sat down in order for the 2nd straight inning and the 4th time in 6 frames tonight by young Taijuan Walker. Mariners on top through 6. All right, Angie, thank you. We've got a new pitcher for the Rangers, Mike, as Giovanni Gallardo is out. Stolmy Pimentel is in.
This will be his 4th appearance on the year. 2.45 ERA, just 3 2/3 for him so far. A couple of strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponents hitting just .214 against the hard-throwing right-hander. For Gallardo this evening, 6 innings, 3 hits, just 3 hits. Mariners making it count, taking advantage of some walks. 3 runs, all of them earned. He threw 101 pitches, 62 of those were strikes.
Well, there's no doubt that the Rangers bullpen this year has been taxed heavily. Brad Miller leads off the 7th for the Mariners. In terms of just ERA, it's the loftiest in the American League. It's the 2nd highest in all of baseball. Only the Cincinnati Reds have a higher earned run average than the 4.5 mark by the Rangers, as Miller squares up the 2nd pitch, and Brad is aboard with the leadoff single. But then you go even further than that. Rangers relievers this year have thrown more innings than any other bullpen in baseball. The New York Mets off to a fantastic start this year. They just had a 10-0 homestand. Their bullpen has been stellar. They have thrown the fewest pitches of any bullpen in baseball this year. The Rangers bullpen has thrown 500 more pitches than the Mets so far this year, and we're not through April.
Well, it makes sense. You were giving the rundown of the injuries to what their starting staff was supposed to look like. And it's not even close to that. So not a surprise that their bullpen has had to pitch as much as they have.
Miller at first for Willie Bloomquist.
Beltre in at 3rd, expecting the bunt from Willie. Willie hitting 8th in the lineup tonight. Mike Zunino waiting on deck, with Beltre playing in on the grass.
Last time out for Pimentel was on the road trip interleague play in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. He threw just 6 pitches, 1/3 of an inning. Pimentel worked in a little bit of long relief in his season debut. Worked 2 1/3 against the Angels. Didn't face the Angels again. An inning scoreless in the middle of the month. So this is just his 4th time out. Bloomquist tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout, looking back in the 2nd, then a ground ball out of the 5th. How impressed have you been, Mike, with Willie's health this year? Some really serious knee surgery to end his season last year, and you would never know it.
No, you wouldn't. And that's one of the first things I wanted to see when I ended up getting to spring training, is to watch Willie run. And once I saw him run a couple of times, I knew that he was fine.
There goes Miller.
Hit and run. I'm not sure that Willie was able to get a piece of it. We'll see.
And he doesn't. It's a steal for Miller.
All right.
Looked like he might have just tipped it with the end of the bat, but not the case.
Take a look at it in the swing. Willie trying to protect the runner right off the end of the glove of Chirinos, the catcher. This is a good situation for the Mariners. Willie can obviously get a bunt down, but typically when he swings the bat, he'll hit the ball the other way. So moving the runner up should not be a problem for him.
Well, the Mariners not many steals so far this year, 12th in the American League.
And the good news, they're 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight.
So that single has turned into a double for Miller. Trying to sneak it down the right side, but instead strike 2. Really, when you talk about a mature, veteran, experienced hitter, situational hitter, we saw this so many times in spring training. Of course, not many at bats for Willie so far this year, but he is a guy situationally that you have to think is near the top of the list in terms of trusted hitters. Situational batting from Lloyd.
It makes your life a lot easier when you're managing and your bench is a bunch of veteran guys. Doesn't mean that they're always going to get it done, but at least you know they're going to try to hit the ball the other way, which Willie ends up striking out, swinging at a pitch that was down.
First strikeout for Pimentel, the 2nd man that he's faced. Oh, the next BECU family night is set for Tuesday, May 12th. As the Mariners host the Padres. Each member of the family can purchase select U-level seats for one low price. They get a great deal and a great seat for the May 12th game against the Padres. Just log on to mariners.com and purchase your ticket tonight. One out, Miller at first, the single, then the swipe. And in steps Zunino looking for his first hit on the evening. And time called very late. Pimentel holds on to it.
Well, let's see if Mike can build off of his last at bat. It's an 8-pitch at bat. Had to foul off a number of pitches. Finally hit the ball hard. It was right at the left fielder for an out. But it was a quality at bat for him.
Low for ball one. Jeff Bannister, the new manager for the Rangers, was a part of Clint Hurdle's staff in Pittsburgh. Of course, Hurdle, the former hitting coach under Ron Washington here in Texas. But Bannister, known as a guy who is really into the numbers, very much a man of our shift generation right now in Major League Baseball. And right now they have the infield wheeled over a little bit to the left for the right-handed hitting Zunino. In fact, we saw a shift earlier tonight for Cruz. And Pimentel steps off. Just inside. 2 balls and a strike to Zunino. Mike, a couple of home runs so far this year. He's driven in 3. A chance here for Miller. He's got speed, especially in those stirrups. Mariners by 2. Quick skipper gobbled up by Beltre. The tag, the throw, and a double play. Miller runs into an out. Zunino out at first base, and that wraps up the top of the 7th. Beltre with some quicks there to get the tag with a bare hand on Brad Miller. Time to stretch. Mariners on top by 2. Way to the bottom of the 7th. How about stretching your mind as you consider how a Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list? Play today. Some clouds, some wind. That's just been the story of the night here in Arlington. We had about an hour's rain delay. By now it's been pretty well documented, the Mariners' struggles to just get to town this morning. The Mariners got to the hotel at 4 a.m. They got to, well, they landed at Love Field at what, about 3:30, Mike?
Yes.
But while the Mariners had a pit stop in San Antonio, the Rangers, who were making their way back home from a West Coast swing that ended in Anaheim, they had to lay over in Austin for about the same period of time. In fact, the Mariners beat the Rangers here to town. The Mariners landing at about 3:30. The Rangers landing at about 4 in the morning, so half an hour later. So neither team got a whole lot of sleep.
And kudos to the pilots, by the way, to get everybody here safely. That was about as rough a conditions as I've ever been on, traveling a lot, and that was tough landing the plane here last night or early this morning.
It was a little bit of a rocky landing. You know, when we landed in San Antonio and the pilot said, "I need to go get gas for the plane," didn't you just kind of picture him walking out, pulling out his wallet, saying, "Debit"?
It was strange.
Where do I put in my PIN number? Time to fuel up.
Well, Taiwan now at 78 pitches. Still in good shape. Nobody throwing in the Mariner pen.
Gets him swinging. Well, time now. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. You can see the Mariners coming up here, coming off the homestand. Then it's a long road trip after a long time at home. Rangers went off to Houston, and then finishing things up in Anaheim. What a start for the Houston Astros. This is their best start in nearly a decade. And the difference has been the pitching. There's no question.
Well, Mariners will be there for 4, so they have a chance to do some damage to their record.
One ball and 1 strike to Andrews. Rangers have locked Andrews up pretty long term. That contract extension being signed 2 years ago. Walker just over 80 pitches. Right back up the middle for a base hit. 1 out single for Andrews.
Well, Andrews gets a fastball that he can handle. It's 94 miles an hour in the middle of the plate, but more importantly down. Just has to drop the barrel of the bat to it. Taijuan Walker able to get the ground ball, but it finds a hole, so that'll be a base hit for Andrews.
That's the first hit that Walker's given up in about 9 batters faced. You have to go back to the Mitch Moreland air quotes single, which hit the lower half of Beltre running from first to second. Give it a hit for that.
Well, as he works here in the 7th inning, he's given up 5 hits in the ball game.
Just 1 for extra bases. That was Fielder back in the 1st. That wall ball double in the corner. Tying run at the plate. That's Chu. Raises off the bat. Chu is not a switch hitter, but he wears the dual flap helmet. He's a left-handed hitter all the way. Just says that he feels more comfortable with that minor league style helmet. Chu, a former minor league teammate with the King, Felix Hernandez, down in AA San Antonio, the former AA affiliate in the Texas League for the Mariners. Opposite way, right in the pathway of Ricky Weeks. Well, we hope you follow the Mariners all season long with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or for your tablet.
And with Taijuan at 86 pitches, getting some action in the pen, Justin Leone. Charlie Furbush getting loose in a hurry. Taijuan with a couple of outs and a runner on here in the 7th.
It's Andrews at first, the ground ball single. First pitch strike to Odor. Of course, Odor would not be here if it was not for the injury for a 2nd straight year to Jurickson Profar, who was touted for years as the top prospect in baseball, but a shoulder surgery once again holding him out all season long. Profar so young and such a bright future ahead of him. That's really what freed the Rangers up to make the deal with Detroit. Snap throw just gets out of Bloomquist's glove. That sent Kinsler over to the Tigers, brought Fielder here to Arlington. Two balls and a strike to Odor. An infield single back in the third. That was a tough play for Cano. With Leone and Furbush warming up on the way, here comes pitch number 90 from Walker. And that levels the count, 2-2.
Well, as you mentioned, Aaron, with Taijuan, I think he probably feels pretty strong. He had an extra day's rest in between starts. But I think that Lloyd would be thrilled if he's able to get through this inning and get 7 really good innings out of him.
There goes the runner at first. Odor, right side and through. Andrews scurries into third base, and it gets a stop sign there.
Like it was, I think it's the changeup. That's the changeup, 88 miles an hour down in the middle of the plate. And Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. We'll see if he has a conversation with Taijuan or he's going to make a change. He has Leone, the righty, ready to go in the pen.
Last time Taijuan was on the mound, we saw Lloyd come out twice without making a pitching change.
He hasn't made a move yet, so I think he wants to find out how he's doing, how are they going to go at Chirinos if he decides to leave him in, and it appears that he's going to.
And just for some context, as it'll be Taijuan. We all remember Walker's brilliant start, the 8 innings last September in Toronto. Those 8 innings, a career high. But where he is right now, 6 2/3. The only game that he's ever pitched more innings than this one you're watching right here tonight was that magnificent start against the Blue Jays when the Mariners needed it the most.
I think part of the conversation was also you have the left-hander Martin waiting on deck. And Taijuan, no, don't leave anything in the tank. Go get him. And he gets a good fastball in on his hands.
Nice work there by Taijuan Walker. 7 innings here tonight in Arlington in game 1. And the Mariners go on to the 8th, leading by 2. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Jack in the Box, Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Mariners take a 3-1 lead into the top of the 8th. Aaron Goldsmith, Mike Flowers, glad to have you with us here inside Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. And Mike,
speaking of insurance, this would be a good time. It would be some insurance runs back to the top of the lineup. It's been a good evening for Ruggiano. He's been on base a couple times, 2 walks for him, but he's scored both times that he's been on base. Also stolen a base. So he's having a good evening.
The former Aggie from Texas A&M. Mentioned he was born in Austin. One ball and 1 strike to Ruggiano, leading off the 8th. One and 2. The Mariners really had a tough time against Gallardo after that 2-run, 2-hit, 35-pitch first inning. Gallardo sat down the Mariners in order the next 3 innings. Mariners did grab a run though in the 5th. But there have been some quick 1, 2, 3 frames tonight by the Mariners. In fact, they've been retired in order in 5 of the first 7 innings. But they've been able to strike at certain times to give a 2-run lead. Soft tapper, Pimentel. 1 out. Well, how about we take a look now at our Delta Airlines keep climbing AL West standings. We were talking about it earlier. The Astros, another win, 11-7. They start to cushion that lead a little bit more, Mike. 2.5 games over the Halos.
How about the rest of the West? Under 500 record right now. It is early, but the West having a tough time. Anybody really getting on to a good run other than the Astros?
You're right. Absolutely right. We've got a pitching change here in the 8th. That'll be it for Pimentel, so we'll step aside with the Mariners leading 3-1. Well, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 8th inning. Mariners leading by 2, game 1 with Texas. And Mike's told me Pimentel out after an inning and 2/3. He gives way to Alex Claudio.
Claudio just called up from Round Rock. Sidearm left-hander. The Mariners saw him a few times last year. They bring him in to pitch the left-handed hitting Seth Smith. Cano waiting on deck.
Speaking of Rangers relievers, Tanner Scheppers has been optioned down to AAA Round Rock, which was maybe a little bit of a surprise. His last year and a month have been certainly pretty odd. Funky delivery, first pitch strike. Scheppers last year was the Rangers opening day starter. He was a fantastic 8th inning setup man for Phillies for a year or 2. Nearly made an all-star team. Has had some injuries. So no Scheppers in a bullpen that has already struggled for Texas. Little half swing. Ball and 2 strikes.
Seth Smith having a good night. 1 for 2. Walk. Driven in a run. Got a base hit up the middle. Pick up an RBI.
Claudio, 23 years old, from Puerto Rico. Just off the plate. Claudio made his big league debut last season. He pitched all of 12 1/3 innings in the big league, so not a lot of experience on the mound right now. Breaking ball lifted right field. Chu is able to get there right before the warning track. Out number 2.
And it appears that Taijuan Walker's night is done. Lloyd McClendon able to get 7 innings out of him. Charlie Furbush getting loose in the pen. They take a look at Taijuan and what he's done so far tonight. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. 1 walk. 4 walks in his last outing, just 1 walk today, 5 strikeouts. He threw 92 pitches. But Charlie getting loose. Back to the top of the order for the Rangers. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Martin, Pigaro, and Fielder, all left-handed hitters, due up.
Well, there's no doubt the question entering tonight's game for the Mariners was, could Taijuan Walker build on what we saw his last time out against the Astros when he struck out 8? Did not go as deep into the game as he would have liked, but there's some building blocks to build upon, and it seems like a resounding answer tonight would be yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think he did everything that was asked of him. They wanted him to establish his fastball, to pitch inside, eventually get to his curveball, which he threw more curveballs tonight. Still had a good changeup. But right down the list, you could put a check mark. He was able to do all of that. Mike Zunino was really good with him tonight, calling the game.
Cano to right field. Chu, the slide, and the out. Mariners go down 1-2-3 for the 3rd straight inning. But as we make our way to the bottom of the 8th, the Mariners still leading this one by 2. Was 7 innings, 1 run, 5 punch outs.
I thought that he was outstanding tonight. Was able to use all of his pitches, commanded the strike zone, was 95 miles an hour, had his changeup at 88, 89, but overall stayed away from the walks, consistently worked ahead. Just a real good example of power pitching by Taijuan Walker this evening. Charlie Furbush is going to take over. This will be his 10th appearance on the year. Charlie with a 3.86 ERA and 4 2/3. He has 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Opponent's hitting .211 off of Charlie. Good fastball. He will be in the low 90s with his fastball, and also mix in a slider to the left-handers.
One thing, Mike, that was pretty impressive about Taijuan, I'm sure you love to see, just like Felix, a pitcher go out there, dominate for, say, 7 innings, never run into any troubles. But for a young guy in Taijuan Walker, as we see some changes defensively, we've got Ruggiano in left field. Austin Jackson is in center field. And a new first baseman for the Mariners as well is Logan Morrison. It was nice to see Taijuan Walker get out of a couple of jams. He pitched with runners at third base a number of times.
No, he did, and he made some excellent pitches. He had a couple of trips by Lloyd McClendon, of course, and Mike Zunino out to the mound, but I think that's something that you have to do. just to get him back and aggressive in the strike zone. Typically, when you have guys that are in scoring position and you're a young pitcher, you start to nibble a little bit. And the strength of Taijuan Walker is to be aggressive, and he was able to get right back to it and make quality pitches to get out of some of those jams.
So Walker continuing to turn in the right direction with his start tonight on the heels of his start at home against the Astros. Breaking ball there from Charlie. 1-2 to Martin. We last saw Charlie, well, yesterday. So Furbush pitching on back-to-back days for the third time this season. But he faced only one batter. That was Joe Mauer. Got him to fly out. Preserved a 2-2 tie at the time. Bends that slider a little wide. 2-2.
Smolinski has come out on deck, so he will pinch hit for Peguero.
We've seen Smolinski in left field a number of times, including in that brief series back at home against the Rangers.
And Lloyd McClendon probably will counter with Carson Smith, who is getting loose in the pen right now, the right-hander, hard-throwing right-hander.
2-2. Up the middle for a base hit. Leadoff single for Martin.
Pretty good slider from Charlie. It's on the outside corner, and he cues it off the end of the bat. You could really see it slicing back towards Brad. Wasn't able to get to it. And Smolinski will pinch hit. So now Lloyd has to make a decision. You have Prince Fielder, another left-handed hitter, waiting on deck. Fielder has been their best hitter. Hit the ball hard a number of times this evening. So it looks like he's going to stay with the left-hander Furbush so that he will be able to pitch to Prince Fielder. Fielder so far 2 for 3 with a double and a run scored.
Smolinski not off to a good start this year, batting .114. For Smolinski, all 4 of his hits this year have come against lefties. Smolinski represents the tying run. Pitch low from Furbush. The Mariners grabbed a bit of an insurance run in the 5th. That was Seth Smith, the single into right field that scored Ruggiano. That's coming up awfully big right now. Gives you a little more breathing room.
For Charlie, when he throws his slider to the right-hander, he typically tries to throw it at their back foot, get him to swing over the top of it. A couple of good fastballs to start this at bat.
That one's in low and tight. Rick Wade's watching on. Wader, a former Texas Ranger.
Carson Smith ready to go in the pen, just pacing himself.
Two one.
There's a slider.
Mendez and Tollison warming up. A couple of right-handers. Jeff Bannister's bullpen. There goes the runner at first, and it's inside. Zunino can't find it. Finally does. It's too late. Martin to second base.
Well, this is the breaking ball, and he's trying to throw it at the back foot. We'll take a look at it. Mike not able to handle it. There will be a stolen base for Martin.
Count goes full to Smolinski. And the most feared hitter for the Rangers, Prince Fielder, is on deck. A full count. Nobody out. Just what Charlie was looking for. He points sky high. Here comes Seager. Now number 1. Well, the first girls' night out event of the year is set for Friday, May 8th, when the Mariners take on the Oakland A's for just $35. You'll get a view or terrace club seat, a great-looking Mariners cap, and your first drink. Visit mariners.com/girls for tickets. One out, Martin with speed at second base for Prince Fielder.
Well, you could certainly see why Lloyd McClendon let Charlie pitch to Smolenski in that situation, because Fielder on the year, he's done fine against left-handers, hitting .289, but against righties this year hitting .413. So he wanted Charlie to stay out there for this at bat right
Well, that's
here.
a little scary. Sometimes the numbers make it that easy. Fielder missing so much of last season. Had to have surgery on his neck. There was such high hopes for Fielder coming here to Arlington, especially as a left-handed hitter, a home run hitter to right field. A ball and a strike.
Fielder has seen Charlie. He's 1 for 5 against Charlie.
That slider can be so tough to a left-handed hitter. Furbush does such a good job manipulating it, can lengthen it out a little bit, adjust the depth, the tilt. Strike 2.
Well, take a look at this last swing by Prince Fielder. He's trying to tie the ball game up. Gets a high fastball, not able to catch up to it. Charlie's fastball at 91 miles an hour.
Furbush a strike away from out number 2, but a missed pitch from tying this one up. Here it comes.
Another good fastball from Charlie in on his hands. Late swing as Beltre waits on deck.
Fielder batting .361 this year. Really the only Ranger that's really hit consistently since opening day. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. The slider for out number 2.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see Lloyd McClendon come out of the dugout to get Carson Smith with Beltre walking to the plate, and it just ties him up. Good pitch from Charlie.
Well, you're right about tying him up, handcuffing him, hands in real tight. Charlie Furbush does his job. We'll have a pitching change. Carson Smith in a homecoming, a Texas boy. Coming back to Arlington, we step aside. Smith on to hold the lead.
Be a fielder's choice, and then the error by Andrews throwing the ball away will let Robinson Cano come around from second base to score.
And then in the fourth inning, Taijuan Walker facing Elvis Andrus, and Brad Miller on a tough lob throw got underneath Lindquist's glove, and that allowed Prince Fielder to score. So the Rangers grabbing their first run.
An unearned run for Taijuan Walker. And how about Seth Smith? Base hit back up the middle, and it'll be Ruggiano who walked and stole second base with 2 outs and ends up scoring. Right now, that looks like a pretty big run for the Mariners.
Well, there's no question about that. Game 1 of the series tonight, and Mike, a new pitcher and a man with plenty of Texas ties. It's young Carson Smith.
Carson Smith, hard-throwing right-hander. His fastball will be 94 to 96 miles an hour with a hard slider. This will be his 10th appearance on the year, 8 2/3. He has 11 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 100 off of him.
Well, he has been brilliant in the big leagues. Up and in on the first pitch there to Beltran. Carson Smith was born here in Dallas-Fort Worth in the DeSoto area, just about 30 minutes away from the ballpark here in Arlington, but then moved to Midland, Texas, in West Texas when he was a young boy, about 5 years old. Rip and a miss for strike 1.
We'll take a look at this last fastball, 93 miles an hour. Good movement on it. That fastball dipping into the bat of Beltre.
Weak ground ball back to Carson. And in front of about 10 family and friends, including Grandma, here tonight at Globe Life Park, it's Carson Smith who helps get the Mariners out of the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Mariners on top by 2. Mike, that's, you know, they say everything's bigger in Texas, and that's just terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. As we take a look ahead tomorrow, we will be well fed, as you might imagine. Jay Happ, Ross Detweiler. The Mariners really got to Detweiler earlier.
Well, they did, and so that's encouraging for you. And Happ has really pitched well, so hopefully he'll be able to keep that going, getting the start tomorrow's game.
And then on Wednesday, Happy Felix Day, a couple of days in advance, facing off against Wandy Rodriguez, a new face here in Arlington.
Haven't seen Rodriguez in a while, so that'll be interesting. The left-handed pitcher, and Felix, of course, has just been outstanding this year. A 1.61 ERA for Felix so far.
Jake Smolinski stays in the game. We saw him as a pinch hitter. He's in left. Roman Mendez, the new pitcher.
For Mendez on the year, his 10th appearance, ERA right at 3, 8 strikeouts in the 9 innings that he has worked. Good fastball, hard slider.
Mendez allowed a run over 1 inning his last time out. That was against the Angels.
As you might guess, Fernando Rodney starting to get loose in the pen.
Ball strike to Cruz. Nelson had the RBI single back in the first inning. That made it 1-0 Mariners. 0 for 2 since. A ground ball out and a strikeout. Up high, 3-1. Cruz leading baseball, 9 home runs, 20 RBIs, both leading all of the majors, not just the American League. And the next pitch to Nelson. High fly, center field. Martin has some time, has some space, and it's out number 1. Well, join us tomorrow during the Mariners game for Twitter Tuesday. You'll have 5 chances to win exciting prizes just by interacting with us on Twitter throughout the game. We'll be posting questions and want to hear from you, so be sure to watch and follow us on Twitter at RootSports_NW. One out, nobody on. And it brings in Kyle Seager.
With the way that Kyle is hit in this ballpark, I would say he's due right here. Maybe a double. Kyle hitting .353 in his career here at this ballpark. 0 for 3 tonight.
Austin Jackson will bat next. Jackson on deck, taking the spot of Ricky Weeks. Austin has become the new center fielder for the Mariners tonight after beginning the first portion of tonight's game off. Little inside, a ball and a strike. Borderline pitch. At least twice last year we saw Seager come to Texas, to Arlington that is, in a slump, and a pretty serious slump, and then go on to hit about 600 in the series against Texas. This has been a place of revival at times for Kyle Seager. Not that he's needed it much. Like we heard Val say earlier tonight that Baltimore, the Orioles, were his team that he held hostage more times than not. What about you? Is there a team that you raked against?
Well, I like playing here. I think a lot of players, if you're an offensive player, you like coming to this ballpark. So I don't know what the numbers are, but I'll go with this ballpark as well.
All right. One out, nobody on. The 2-2.
Could be trouble.
Smolenski, the new left fielder, has to come in, has to play it on a hop.
You figured Kyle was due to get a base hit right there.
First hit tonight.
94-mile-an-hour fastball up. Ends up jamming him just enough as he dumps it into left field for a hit. Give Austin Jackson his first at bat of the evening.
Mike, word is that you hit .480 at Old Arlington Stadium.
How many games? 2?
Yeah, exactly. Still .480, kind of.
I believe I hit my first major league home run there off of Charlie Huff.
Really?
Yep.
How about County Stadium, Milwaukee, .320?
Really?
Yeah. Now, don't act surprised. I saw you with the personal stat sheet over there and a highlighter, I might note.
See if Austin Jackson get a base hit into right. Big hole on the right side of the infield right now for him. And he took a shot at it. A good fastball out over the plate.
Have you been surprised, Mike, with, we mentioned it earlier, Ruggiano, the 5th leadoff hitter for the Mariners this year? Now, we knew that this year we might not see Austin Jackson at the top of the order each and every night. We know that Lloyd likes Ricky Weeks up there at times, especially against the lefty. But are you surprised that we've seen this many leadoff hitters and that we've seen Austin Jackson maybe batting second as much as we've seen Austin leading off?
If you had asked me that question a week to 10 days after spring training had started, I would have said yes, surprised. But after getting down there and seeing Ricky Weeks for the first time in the leadoff spot, seeing Ruggiano get an opportunity in that spot, no. I think that Lloyd, we saw this from him last year, early in the season, trying to figure his team out and what guys can do, where they're comfortable. He would move the lineup around a little bit, so I'm really not surprised at all. Sometimes when I am surprised is when Austin is in the lineup and he's hitting second as opposed to leadoff. But I'm not surprised to see that he's tried a number of guys in that spot.
You saw Austin leading off in yesterday's game against the Twins.
I still believe Austin Jackson will be the leading candidate by the time the season is over. They need him in that spot, and they need him to play well.
Snap throw from Chirinos. Seager's safe. You brought up Lloyd last year and kind of fiddling with the lineup a little bit, and what a difference a year must make for Lloyd. Last year, learning his team for the first time in spring training, then trial by fire. You go into the season, you learn month to month to month, and then Lloyd has said this a number of times how better equipped he was this year, having gone through it one time. And even though he's better equipped, heck, they won 87 games last year.
Well, exactly, but he also has some veteran guys that are new to his club. In Ruggiano, you have Ricky Weeks, trying to figure out what their strengths are, Seth Smith, and where they're going to be comfortable at. And I think he's trying to see what looks best and works best for his lineups. And they're going to change depending whether it's a lefty or righty. And so early on, I think early in the season is the best time to figure that out.
2-2. Safe to say that with the exception of maybe just a handful of teams around baseball, that a lot of managers right now are still kind of figuring out some new parts and how they fit in.
Well, I think so. And again, it comes down to how veteran your club is. And quite frankly, how good is your club? Yeah, he hasn't done anything with 3, 4, and 5 in this lineup, and I don't think that he will.
Beltre scoops it to second, to first. Double play will end things here at the top of the 9th. So the Rangers will try to at least tie this one up, but they'll have to face Fernando Rodney. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Mariners by 2. All right, Angie, here we go. Bottom of the ninth. Fernando Rodney time, Mike.
He has 4 saves on the year for Rodney. 7 1/3, 7 strikeouts. He has walked 5 batters. Opponents hitting .333 off of Rodney. Good fastball. His fastball has been excellent so far this year. 95 to 96 miles an hour. And, of course, the great changeup at 81.
Rodney threw 20 pitches yesterday afternoon against the Twins, so he is working on back-to-back days for the second time this season.
And Mitch Moreland has had success 4 out of 7 against Rodney with a couple of strikeouts.
Yesterday, Rodney allowed an infield single and then stranded 2 runners. That's when the game was tied in the ninth against the Twins, an eventual 11-inning loss. But he held the ship steady. First strike from Fernando, 1-1. It's true with any closer, but it seems to maybe be even more so for Rodney. The first down is such a big one. In 3 of his 4 saves this year, they have gone down 1, 2, 3. That being said, his last save on the 22nd against the Astros, he stranded runners on the corners and did not retire the first man that he saw. Hits him with a strike there.
For Rodney, it's all about deception. He's not trying to nibble on the corners. He's going to give you his good fastball and hope that the difference between his fastball and his changeup are good enough, and most nights they are.
Cano, backhand, easy toss, and a big out, number 1. Facing a right-handed hitter in Andrews. Fernando's never really in a hurry, is he, Mike?
No. Of all the pitchers that I was worried about the clock, he would be the one.
But 225, that could be difficult. First pitch strike there to Andrews. Top speed for Rodney is a nice, easy stroll. But it seems to work out all right for him. We've heard Mike Rojas, Mariners bullpen coach, say a number of times that when Rodney misses with the heat, when he misses high, maybe pitches in, he does that with a purpose. Maybe not all the time. But Fernando's not afraid to bring that fastball up and in.
No, he's changing your eye level, speeding you up so they can come back with the changeup down and get you to swing over the top of it.
Cano, another try, can't get there. This will bring the tying run to the plate. Andrews, a single. 3rd time he's reached, the 2nd time on a base hit.
Little inside out swing, trying to get the fastball in on his hands. He kind of leaves it out over the plate, middle in.
One out, 1 on for Chu. 0 for 3 tonight. Has some nice numbers against Rodney, however. Strike 1 showing bunt. Rodney trying to work around a 1-out single. Got him swinging.
That was his best fastball so far at the bottom of the strike zone, 95 miles an hour. He's had a good changeup, but his first few fastballs around 91 miles an hour. That one at 95.
Rodney led baseball last year with 48 saves. Got him again. This time he pulled the string.
What a changeup. Well located, 82 miles an hour, right after the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Not much of a chance for Chu.
So now it is up to Rougned Odor. Batting 140 entering tonight. He is the tying run. Bends his knees and looks at a strike. That buckled him a little bit. Indifference to Andrews down to second.
Take a look at the pitch selection for Rodney. As you might expect, almost 70% fastballs, and of course the great changeup. He does not throw anything else. So it's those two pitches that he gets by on. His fastball typically around 95 miles an hour. Again, his changeup at 81.
Pretty deadly duo. 2 outs, 1 on. The 1-1 makes it 2-1. Mariners trying to start this lengthy road trip off the right note. And the count very much now in Odor's favor. 3 balls and a strike. Lloyd not looking. Maybe just taking a break. Walked him.
Really not close with this last fastball. 95, well out of the strike zone. And Odor with good speed now. He's a tying run over at first base.
Number 9 hitting catcher Robinson Chirinos. Rodney just needs 1 more out. Made him think about it. Looks at a strike. Chirinos having some words. Not in total agreement there with the home plate umpire. It's Alan Porter tonight. Tying run at first. That's Odor. Chirinos, the winning run. The Rangers have really hung in this game. This has been a close one all night. Mariners have led the entire way. Two on, 2 out. And the 1-1. Austin Jackson, plenty of time to get there, and that'll do it. The Mariners win it. As Rodney strands 2, he picks up the save. Taijuan Walker, his first win of the season. And Mike, it really started tonight with Taijuan.
It was an impressive outing by Taijuan Walker. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, had the good curveball and changeup, but more importantly, was efficient with his pitches. Only threw 92 pitches today to get through 7 innings. Lloyd, you talked about the lineup. Ruggiano at the top of the lineup, starting in center field, gets a couple of walks, steals a base, and scores 2 of the 3 runs for the Mariners.
Nice win for the Mariners. They take game 1 against the Texas Rangers here in Arlington. Well, Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines starts right now with Angie and Dave Valley.